Orange Nation, it is time to get the party started with a dynamic warm-up. You ready, Cynthia?
I'm ready.
All right, we have 5 exercises, 1 minute each. Our first exercise is going to be the T-spine windmill. So lie down on your back. We're going to bring the knees up, bend at 90 degrees, arms extended. Drop the knees to one side within your range of motion. Bring it back to center. Drop it to the other. Keep alternating for 60 seconds. Our second exercise will be the hip rocks. This is going to be 30 seconds each side. Tabletop position, extend one leg out to the side. Drive the hips back, opening up the hips, stretching the quad, the hamstrings, and the adductors. 30 seconds on one side, switch to 30 seconds on the other. Our next exercise will be the bear plank to pike. So we're going to get into a tabletop position. Knees are elevated up on the toes. Drive the hips up, stretching through the hamstrings and the low back. Right back to your set position. And our next exercise will be alternating lateral lunges. So we stand. Feet about hip width apart, step out to one side, drive the hips back, bring the feet back together. Same thing on the other side. Our final exercise, the jump rope. Imagine you have a jump rope in your hand and just start hopping and swinging that rope. We can reduce the range of motion or pause if we need to for options. Let's get ready to rock and roll.
Coach D, you ready to get your heart rate up?
I am.
We're going to do it with a 4-minute agility block here. So Coach D is an artist, and she painted this beautiful square. We use painter's tape, and we encourage you guys to as well. A nice square for this agility block. So it is Tabata style. That means 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're going to alternate 2 exercises and do 4 total rounds of both exercises combined. First exercise is around the world. So both feet, Coach D is going to jump outside of the box to the front, back in, to the side, to the back, to the side. 20 seconds, making sure she takes off of and lands both feet. Option for all of these is to step and step back. Again, quick, rapid fire movements, getting that heart rate up. After 10 seconds of rest, we're going to move to in and outs. So we're going to jump the feet outside the box and back in, nice and quick, nice and explosive, minimal bend in the knee so that we can get that really fire movement. Option is to step apart and together. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 4 rounds of those 2 exercises. Let's do it.
You've got nothing to lose. It's time we take it. You know it's time we take it. Don't stop the move, just keep the groove. Go out and make it. Don't go and break it. Can't go out and fake it. Our worlds collide into the sky. It's time we take it. Can't go out and fake it. It's time we make it. Can't go out and fake it. It's time we make it. Can't go out and fake it. It's time we make it. Can't go out and fake it. It's time we make it. Can't go out and fake it.
next block is going to work upper body. More specifically, muscles that are going to translate to everyday life, such as when you bend over to pick up your kids. So this block is going to be endurance. It's going to be set up a little bit differently. You have 3 exercises, 15 reps of each, and you're going to go through 3 rounds in a row of the same 3 movements before resting for 1 minute. When you're done with that, you'll move to the second set of exercises, 15 reps each, 3 rounds, and let's get started. All right. So first movement, you have a hip hinge, single arm, low row. So hip hinge position, neutral spine, feet hip width apart. You're going to bring the weight toward your hip, keeping tension in the opposite side. That's where you want it. That's where you're going to feel it in your core. Slowly lower the weight back to the starting position. The option on this movement, limit your range of motion. Second exercise, bicep curl, 15 reps. Elbows start at your ribs. You're going to bring the weights up toward your shoulder. Pause at the top. Slowly lower the weights back down to the starting position. Option, limit the range of motion again. Third exercise, you're going to move onto the floor. It's going to be an iso hip bridge to a pullover. So you're going to have 1 dumbbell or any household object. Keep the weight in the heels. Try not to lift your hips too high to arch your back. That's your starting position. You'll bring the weight back as far as you can without that arch increasing, and then bring it back over to the chest in the center. You inhale as the weight goes back. Exhale as the weight comes forward. The option is to do that movement with the hips on the floor. So you'll do 3 rounds of those 3 exercises at 15 reps each before resting for 1 minute. You'll then move to the next 3 exercises, which is going to work the core. The first one is going to be a power sit-up. So you start in your starting position, arms extended behind your head, legs straight out. You'll slowly sit up and drive the knees toward your chest, pause, and then lower back down slowly. You want to think of the power when you sit up, and then pause, and then slowly lower back down. The option, don't come all the way up on that sit-up. Just bring the knees in, and then slowly lower back. Second movement is going to be a toe reach. So you'll start with the legs fully extended, grabbing your weight. You want to flex your feet at the top. Make sure your lower back is pressed into the floor. Arms are fully extended as you crunch up and reach that weight toward your toes. Your eyes are looking at your knees throughout this movement. Try to make sure as you come up, you keep contact with your lower back into the floor. Option, you can bend your knees to shorten the lever. And the last exercise is going to be a straight leg hip raise. So you'll start in the same position you were just in, your back's pressed into the floor. You want to keep your hands down as you lift your hips up as high as possible. Think of trying to touch your toes to the ceiling. The option on this one, you can bend your knees again to shorten the lever. So you're going to have 3 rounds, 15 reps each of all 3 of those exercises, and that's the workout. Let's get to work.
Hey!
Time for the orange zone.
All right.
Let's do it with an agility block. We'll do Tabata style, so 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're going to do a combination of 2 exercises, and we'll do 4 total rounds. So the first exercise is the shuffle. You're going to start outside of our nice square box here, 3-step motion, 2 steps inside, and at the end you're going to pause and challenge the core. Start slow and build up an intensity to challenge that control. Second exercise is a foot exchange. So 1 foot in the box, 1 foot outside the box. Again, starting slow and building. We're going to replace the feet and move with the hands like a normal gait pattern. Explosive, powerful movement. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. We'll do that for 4 rounds.
You worked hard today, so you deserve this flexibility block. You'll have 7 total stretches that you're gonna hold for 20 seconds each. The first one, we have that overhead reach, moving from our side, 20-second hold per side, working the lats and obliques. Next up, we have a cross arm stretch. That's gonna work the shoulders a little bit more, 20 seconds per side. Next up, standing chest stretch, bringing the arms to a 90-degree angle, drawing the elbows towards the back of the room to open up the chest. Next up, we have an internal rotator stretch, bringing the hands behind the back, chest nice and tall. Then, taking one hand, grabbing that ankle for a standing quad stretch. Fun little tip here, if you touch the nose or the ear, it's gonna help with balance. But of course, if there's a chair nearby, go ahead and use it. Next, we have our kneeling forearm stretch. Fingertips facing the knees, pushing back on the hands, sitting back on the heels. You have 20 seconds there. Last but not least, we have our child's pose. So we're gonna go ahead, bring the toes together, knees a little bit wider as we press back, enjoy sitting back in the stretch. Good job today.
In the dark, in the room, I'm waiting on my own, and the dream seems so far away. Could it be you're waiting there for me? I just need to open up. Oh. Then your light shines in, flying, flying. Never saw you coming. Now you're under my skin, flying, flying. And you set me free. Then your light shines in, flying, flying. Never saw you coming. Now you're under my skin, flying, flying. And you set me free. Here we are, I can feel your heartbeat next to me. Tonight we will fly away. Looking out